Jake Paul taking on Andre August. I think somebody's getting knocked out, so make sure you guys enjoy this reaction. Another opening right by Andre. Oh, shit!
Oh, shit!
I mean, he was tucking his head in that shell all damn day. He's not getting up. He's done. He's done. Jeez. Jake Paul. Sit right there. See, and this is, so, ladies and gentlemen, that was an amateur fight, okay? The reason why I say it is because Jake Paul, he's doing the right thing. He's doing 1-2, he's doing all this stuff. You have the guy who's a professional boxer, he's ducking down and all. They're both professional boxers, right? There's levels to the game, okay? There's levels to boxing. But what he basically did is that you had Andre who kept going in his shell. He was doing that 6 years ago when he was an amateur. I just don't like the way he goes in the shell. He's planted, his feet are planted, right? And his head's here, so he's pretty much blind. So if this guy was a good boxer, he can take an angle that way and just light him up. Bravo, I'm proud of you, but get yourself in a legitimate circuit. Let Eddie Hearn pick your next fight. Let actual, Showtime Boxing, HBO, whoever it may be, pick your boxing. Don't handpick your opponents. But, ladies and gentlemen, congrats to Jake Paul. What's going on, guys? This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Jake Paul just fought. The projections were Jake Paul were going to land 85.5 strikes, where Andre August was going to land 62.5. You could pick more or less. We went with less because I knew Jake Paul was gonna knock out Andre August. If he lands 85.5 strikes, oh my goodness, that is a lot of strikes for a gentleman to absorb. So we went with less. The cool thing about Prize Picks is you're not just stuck with one sport. You can intermingle things. You can do a pick on boxing and a pick on mixed martial arts. You can do a pick on basketball all in the same night. We've done it before. It was absolutely amazing. We had a great time. Now, if you guys want to give Prize Picks a try, go to your app store, whether you're iPhone or Android user, download Prize Picks. And when you do that, make sure you use my code MIGHTY. That will get you $100 to your deposit. They will match that bad boy, $100. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're gonna make a pick against the projections, make sure you make the right pick at the right place at Prize Picks. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. That good blend of that red wine. All right, let's talk about Jake Paul versus Andre August. Okay, so I did do a breakdown of this gentleman's fight, Andre August. The gentleman's been in and out of fighting. He took a 4-year break before coming back in 2023. He had one fight against another gentleman, I think Brandon Martin, went to a unanimous decision. Then he took on the problem child, Jake Paul, and he gets knocked out in the very first round. Now, when I went back and broke down Andre's fights, the biggest thing I said I didn't like about what he did was he would put himself in a shell and he would plant his feet. He would not move his feet, where typically a boxer's landing the feet using the jab. He was more of a tank that would just cross the distance, and then he'll hit his hands go. There are levels to professional boxing, ladies and gentlemen. The question everybody's gonna ask, is Jake Paul good at boxing? The answer is yes, he is good at boxing. Is he a world-class fighter? Absolutely not. He is not a world-class fighter. He's not out there taking angles. He's not out there. He has a very fast jab, but his awareness of the shots that he's available to be able to hit his opponents at an amateur level, yes, he's seeing those, right? At the level he's at, he is seeing those. But I think the reason why people have a hard time taking him seriously is that in boxing, you can handpick your fights. What do I mean by that? If I'm on a contract with one championship, I don't get to call them and say, hey, I want to fight this guy who is on, a 4-fight winning streak, unanimous decision. I can't make that call. The promotion and the matchmaker makes that call. So I think if he was to fight a boxer that was his age, who was an up-and-comer, who's 10-0 or 11-0 or shit, I don't know, 10-2, who's been super active, who's been fighting these bigger fight cards, like fight one of Eddie Hearn's guys, fight up-and-coming hungry star. The gentleman is 35 years old. Now, the things that Jake Paul did do well, I am not going to discredit what Jake Paul did well. He did a good job of seeing that shot, that uppercut, because Andre August kept ducking his damn head into that shell. He did have a quick jab. His footwork was moving better. His footwork's a lot better, being lighter on his toes. But the biggest thing that I think that's so hard for us to, I mean, I accept him, but I think it's like, oh, boxing's so corrupt. I was like, why don't we have him fight, you know, a legit dude? Why don't we get a guy in there who's, you know, 12-0, who's, you know, knocking out his 5 last opponents, right? He's beat you know, Tyron Woodley twice. He's beat Nate Paul. I was going to say Nate Diaz. He lost to Tommy Fury, but even Tommy Fury, he even admits that he's not a high level of professional boxer. Once again, there are levels to this game. Already you can see that Andre August is a little rusty. He hasn't been out there fighting very tip-top competition. That's the problem with boxing. All these guys pad their records. They get 32-0, and then they start fighting legitimate competition. Where, you know, now we're about to see Tank Davis fight David Haney, which would be an absolute banger of a fight. Two absolutely amazing athletes. But let's get back to the guys who are on a lower level of boxing. Now, what does Jake Paul do from here? Right? What does he do from here? I don't know how the viewership was for this fight. It was the first time one of Jake Paul fights were free, according to my producer. So what does he do here? Obviously, he's going to keep on fighting because he's making a lot of money, because me and everybody around the world are tuning in to watch him fight. Is he going to do mixed martial arts in the PFL? I know the PFL CEO said there is a contract at place for Nate Diaz to fight Jake Paul for $15 million. At the end of the day, I don't know how these guys can justify paying these guys $15 million. The last time I saw a corporation, or excuse me, not corporation, organization paying athletes, you know, outrageous, you know, salaries was Affliction. Affliction is nowhere to be found, or you can't even find any of their clothes. But what does Jake Paul do from here? I hope to see him see him in PFL. I would love to see him and Nate Diaz lock it up in a mixed martial arts fight. But Jake Paul said he already would do it. Nate Diaz says he ain't got time for them. He was like, I'll fight you, that, whatever he said. I can't remember verbatim. But I don't know if I want to see Jake Paul fight. I don't think I want to see him fight unless he's going to fight a very hungry contender that's also been killing it in the game. Him handpicking these guys, there's no reason for him to handpick, right? He just fought Tommy Fury again. He's fought KSI. He's fought all these guys that are not even high-level boxers. Let's get a journeyman boxer. Let's get a journeyman boxer who's got, 15-6, 15-4. Why not? He says he wants to be a world champion. This is the way you get there, not beating gentlemen who are coming off, who are older, 35 years old. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe he'll get a contract to fight for the WBC title or the WBO. I have no idea how boxing works and how many titles I have. But other than that, it was a fun fight to watch. I love watching him knock Andre out. I was very shocked that it happened. But on Prize Picks, they had it at 85.5 shots for Jake Paul to land, and they also had it at Andre August land at 62.5 shots. I knew already that was a good pick, and we went with less, ladies and gentlemen. The Mighty Cast went with less because I knew that Jake Paul was probably going to knock this gentleman out, or he was going to get knocked out. So if you made the right pick at the right place, which was Prize Picks, you're welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning into this quick reaction. I thought the fight was going to go at least 6 to 7 rounds, but it was only 1 round. Jake Paul did look better, but are we going to see him in the boxing ring, or are we going to see him in mixed martial arts gloves in the PFL? So, please leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought about the fight, and let me know, do you want to see him box, or do you want to see him do mixed martial arts? Ladies and gentlemen, cheers. Mm.